he focused particularly on qi dynamics in the body, up-down movement. And you can see the lung at the top is in charge, of course, as a metal organ moving qi down. The heart is at the very top as the emperor or empress, of course, in charge of moving qi down here. We've got the liver and the spleen on the left moving qi up. Stomach moving qi down. And very importantly, gallbladder, even though it belongs to wood and springing up springtime together with the liver, is in charge really of moving things down. So in a certain way, moving down where? Into the kidney battery. So the process, what was failing last year, and again, particularly at the beginning of this year, is this inability of the Shaoyang ministerial fire to draw the energy down into the kidney battery, and as a result of that, producing a gene deficiency in nature, as well as a gene deficiency in the human body, creating this neijing situation of the two deficiencies that then leads to epidemic disease. As I mentioned, the concept, the Shaoyang meridians, the triple warmer and the gallbladder, they are called xianghuo. The heart is the imperial fire, and the Shaoyang meridians are the ministerial fire. And here's the relevant quote from Neijing 66 about ministerial fire. It says, Junhuo Yiming, imperial fire functions by illuminating above, whereas ministerial fire functions by positioning where? Below. If we have a pot that gets cooked by a fire, we cannot have that fire, which is a physical fire. Ministerial fire is not a spiritual fire like imperial fire. It's a physical fire. It needs to be below the pot in order to be able to cook the pot. So very important for the gallbladder and the triple warmer, for the Shaoyang meridians to fulfill their job of moving yang qi in the lowest position into the lower dantian, from where it can then move up again if needed. Now, extremely important, coming back to the theoretical part, that's why I spend so much time on that, is these diseases are complex. Viral diseases like COVID, and COVID especially, it harkens back to what the Shanghan told us. We have Hebing, Bingbing, Lianggan situation where all three young channels are afflicted at the same time. The remedies we've shown so far, especially Yin Xiaosan and Suzi Liho Tang, they are for wind heat disorders in the Wei layer, and translated back into Shanghan language would be Taiyang and Taiyang only. Whereas, as we've expounded at length before, the Shaoyang for sure is involved with febrile epidemic disease, particularly this year, where the Shaoyang ability of the ministerial fire in nature was unable to pull the yang qi below the ground, so it was hovering above ground, so things were too warm, and insects and bugs therefore didn't die off and started afflicting the microcosm of the human body, which was simultaneously afflicted with our qi hovering above the diaphragm rather than being stored in the lower dantian, where our battery is supposed to be. So here we have relevant Beplerm remedies that are available to us in all kinds of forms, self-made as well as patent form from lots of different companies in modern times. And I found the following ones to be most relevant. Xiao Chaiwu Tang, Chaiwu Guizhi Ganjiang Tang, both Shanghan Lun remedies, and the later Song Dynasty remedy, Chaige Jieji Tang. Okay, that is more or less Shaoyang and treats Shaoyang, Yangming, Shaoyang, and Yangming and Taiyang all at the same time. Starting with the Xiao Chai Wu Tang, we of course have